The American story is an ode to movement. We've never been able to stay put, which explains the intricate mesh of highways and byways that connects this country to its inner self. Is it any wonder, then, that our national cuisine evolved at tarmac's edge?
Let's face it, no matter what sophisticated urban chefs create, deep down what we really crave is what the diner, the cafe, and the truck stop can offer. Alas, the modern interstate has rendered our palates comfortably numb with its rolling miles of paved pablum, and that is a shame, because if we don't savor the flavor of the road, then our edible heritage will soon become history. So America, it is with a full tank and an empty stomach that I say to you in the words of my forefathers, let's ride.
If we are to get to the heart of American eats, it makes sense that we would go to the heartland. And if we're going to go to a heart, what better way than to travel up an aorta? And we have one of the mightiest aortas in the world right here, the Mississippi River, a.k.a. Big Muddy, a.k.a. Old Man River. Mark Twain called it actually the body of America. And T.S. Eliot, this is my favorite, wrote of the Mississippi that it was a strong brown god. It is a strong brown god that is 3,000 miles long, constantly moving, constantly shifting. It is inevitable, it is invincible, and we are standing at the end of it and at the end of the road. Venice, Louisiana. This is a strange land where the river meets the sea in a tangly delta about the size of Connecticut. What do the people do here? Well, they fish and they work in petroleum and they clean up. After a little storm that they had here a few years ago, which you can certainly see evidence of as you head down the road. Now, as we head up the road, which begins right here, we will be going north from now on. And let us review the rules of travel, okay? There will be no freeways on this trip. We will bypass them at all costs. We will not eat any kind of industrial chain fast food, okay? There will be no whining on this venture. We will seek always to find authentic food and to tell the stories that are attached to it so that we might know a little bit more about who we are and where we're going. I know how we're going. Motorcycles, my favorite way of getting around, but to really understand this bizarre tangle of river, sea, and land, there's actually a better method. I hear my ride. Down here, it's kind of tough to see the river for the levees, so I hop a ride on a cherry red chopper, one of many such craft kept in the area to service offshore oil platforms. Looking at the half-mile wide main channel, it's easy to see why the Chippewa called this river Mississippi, or Great Waters. In fact, as far as rivers go, it's tough to get greater than the Mississippi, which drains water from most of the lower 48, from the Rockies all the way to the Alleghenies. Water flows indeed, but so does commerce. Wood, cotton, iron, chemicals, petroleum products, and food, including wheat, coffee, produce, and lots of corn. Moving past the line where fresh and salt water clash, we see the derricks. And though I'm tempted to land and demand breakfast, our bikes in New Orleans waits. Heading back north overland, we see the calling card of a very nasty lady who passed through here back in '05. Later, cruising up Highway 23 in search of chow, we find more demolition, not to mention acres and acres of FEMA trailers. You know, just because we don't hear about it on the news anymore doesn't mean it's all better. But it is getting better, because folks in the bayou are tougher than the average bear. So before we get too far up the road, I better introduce the band, because you'll be seeing them off and on for 3,000 miles. There's Ramon and Lamar on camera, Mike on sound. JC takes the photos, as he likes to say. Mark handles logistics. Bobby handles the lights. Bob handles the bikes. And Bear handles everything else. Oh, Brett does something complicated with video and computers, but I'm not sure what. Nearing New Orleans, a familiar sign grabs my eye from across the highway. Louisiana was founded by William B. Riley in the 1890s, and in those days, coffee was the focus of the company. But as refrigeration and ice became more common, Southerners started drinking more and more iced tea, and Riley decided to help them out by inventing a tea blend specifically formulated for iced tea. Hoping to discover the secret to this alchemic wonder, we quickly talk our way into a tour, which begins with the warehouse. Would it be safe to say that you have tea in here from how many countries? 10 countries?
It's safe to say that we get teas from Asia, a variety of different countries in Asia, and we also get teas from South America. Those are the two predominant areas where we source tea.
Okay. Okay, do you have a particular favorite? If you were going to make tea out of just one of them.
I like blends. I don't particularly care. The situation with tea, it's like anything else. Each variety of tea gives us a specific flavor, and it's that combination of flavors that gives us a very unique product. It's very clear. You notice some tea products aren't quite as clear. Ours is very, very clear, and it's very consistent. And part of that consistency also comes from blending. If you use one unique type of tea, depending on how that might vary, even a small variation could make a difference in how it tastes.
Working from an old and closely guarded recipe, the blenders then dump big bags of tea into a huge mixer, which you can't really see because it's underneath the floor. Speaking of tea bags, Willy Wonka would blush at the mechanical marvels responsible for fabricating the ubiquitous pouches.
They say they have one in here working that was made the year I was born. And it's still running. Which means there's at least two things from 1962 still functioning. At least a little bit.
In the end, we left with a 10-year supply of tea bags and a deep respect for a company that kept its employees on full salary during the months the plant was closed after Katrina. As for iced tea, well, much of the upcoming journey would be a quest for the perfect glass. When next we feast, the Big Easy. To New Orleans warehouse district just in time for dinner, but our first spot is packed to the gills with autograph-hungry tourists. So we fall back to plan B. Problem is, I don't have a plan B.
So, I have it. So, I have it. We just can't, it's just not listed. So what we're gonna do is, I have the name of a place that's supposed to be real and like no tourists, but it's not listed. But it's near here, and it's near another place that hopefully is listed. So we're gonna call the other place and then go there and hopefully find the one that we're actually looking for. Because down here, it's big metal tubes full of tourists. Hi, I'm looking for a listing in New Orleans, Louisiana, please. I'm holding for an operator. Oh. Howling Wolf, the office. Okay, I'll take that. New Orleans, Louisiana. Address. Repeat. I'm looking for a restaurant. We're going to feast on asphalt. Right here outside Mulattes. And look, here comes our waiter now. Fabulous. Curbside service.
Here we
Tom,
are.
thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
I want to have the Zydeco gumbo, the crawfish etouffee, the seafood gumbo.
Whoa.
All of this.
I'm sorry.
All of that.
I've never heard that before. Okay.
Well, what did you guys want? Pleasure. This is positively delightful. No loud, cranky tourists. What are we looking at?
That one.
Yes, we have an entire network dedicated to food. What?
No, we've seen you
I'm
on
Alton.
TV. Hi, I'm Kelsey.
Food Network.
Food Network.
Yes.
Okay.
I do shows on Food Network.
We've seen you on TV, but we're like,
Oh, hey, let's get out of the
they'll go
street.
around.
Yeah.
No big deal.
They'll go around. That's the. You must be from here.
I'm from New Orleans, yes.
Taste this and tell me if you would drink this.
Ooh, yeah. Can I have it?
You like unsweetened iced tea?
Oh, yeah.
You're not from the South, though, are you?
Yeah, I am.
And you drink unsweetened
I was
iced
born
tea?
and raised here, and I drink unsweetened iced tea.
How did that happen?
Well, it's easy. I don't know. That's my husband right over there.
Is he? He looks mad.
He's the one. No,
Is he
he's
mad?
the one
Is he
that.
angry?
No, he
Where's
was
my
actually
knife?
the one that actually.
I know we've got one Zydeco gumbo. We've got, I don't know what the other one is. It looks like
Seafood
two.
gumbo.
Seafood gumbo. We have two Zydeco gumbos. Is that, and an etouffee. There's supposed to be an etouffee.
Hard to know where to start. Gator, etouffee, gumbo, and of course there are those nice looking kind of oven roasted shrimp dealies, but I think I'll go with...
Alligator. This is the grilled alligator. I think I'll go with salmon sauce. Tastes like chicken. Actually, no, it doesn't. Matter of fact, that doesn't even taste anything like chicken. Fried alligator. I'll try it with the sauce. I like the grill. And what I want to know, that's actually quite good. I like it. It's not chickeny at all. It's I can't put my finger on what that reminds me of, but I will tell you this. It's very good, and I'm wondering who first looked at an alligator and said, let's eat that. I'd like to think it was revenge. If, you know, an alligator ate one of my relatives, I might eat the alligator. We're gonna have to work on where this alligator comes from around here. And what do? They grow it on ranches? You see cowboys, you know, herding up the alligators and, you know, putting them on down the trail. Would you classify your restaurant as Cajun or Creole?
Completely Cajun.
That's what I thought. We're in agreement. Looked at your menu, completely Cajun. If I went to a Creole restaurant, would I be more likely to find sweet tea or just as
Maybe,
less?
yes,
Okay,
maybe.
so Cajun, no sweet tea. Creole, maybe sweet tea.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe.
In your opinion, now see, in my opinion, the difference to me between Creole and Cajun, Creole is kind of more refined city food. Cajun isn't. Creole's more tomato based.
There you
Okay,
go.
so that's it. This is my first feasting on asphalt frog leg. And it's had a horrible accident, as you can see. This does not taste like chicken either. There's 10 of us, but several of us have gone. People in New Orleans on the street at night are extraordinarily easy to entertain. As you can see, our little meal here has attracted 1, 2, 3, 4, a veritable cornucopia of characters down here just watching us eat. Do you feel self-conscious eating in front of all these spectators, JC?
What spectators?
Exactly. Bread pudding?
The homemade bread? That's good. That's the best one.
Bread pudding? Well, first off, notice this one are all kind of the same size, but this one is markedly larger. So, obviously, the chef intended that for me.
Come on.
That's very good.
Thank you.
The rest of you may eat now. So, Mike, the bread pudding. I noticed you can't seem to stop eating it.
It is the best bread pudding I think I've ever had. It is top notch.
It's A-okay.
Yeah.
Ramon, do you want to just go ahead and lick that? Bobby, who's new to the feasting on asphalt situation, what do you think, sir, of the...
Outstanding. Does not taste like chicken.
Does not taste like chicken. You said earlier you're not much of a bread pudding person.
No, but this is, as JC would say, it's good.
This is good? It's good. This is good? So I was very afraid. I was afraid that we would not find authenticity here, and I was wrong to think that, because not only did we find some authenticity, we found some wonderful hospitality. We met some kind of crazy people on the street, which was, you know, nice, and the food was good. I'm especially intrigued with the entire alligator situation, and I'm gonna dig more into that, because I want to know where that whole tradition came from, and where they get that, if they, I don't know, where they hunt that or whatever. So we're gonna be digging into that a little bit later. So,
Packed to the gills, we make for our beds to feast another day.
in Sophie's Choice, the William Styron wrote of morning, excellent and pure. It certainly is here. So this is right at the edge of the river here at the Mississippi. It is day 2. And I'm coming down to the river for the first time on this trip. I've seen it, but only from a distance. Here it is, Old Muddy herself. This is the crescent laid out before us that the city is kind of named after. Made it an especially nice place to build a city. We've got the juxtaposition of the old and the new. Of course, I'm sure that's a state-of-the-art riverboat there, probably, with the city behind. You know, and they had a pretty bad storm here a few years ago. We all know that. But I got to tell you, there's not that much sign of it, certainly here. They've done a great job of cleaning up. But I've come down here to kind of come to the waters for the first time on this trip. I guess I'm looking for a blessing of some type, so I'm going to baptize myself in the Mississippi. So I'll just get down here and get myself a little water, a little Mississippi River water. I won't call it clear, but it's cold and refreshing. There we go, just a little baptism there with Mississippi water. I know the catfish are in there, they go in there, but I don't care. So, day 2, New Orleans, and then up. It's hard to believe, but by the time we get up into Minnesota, we'll be able to wade across this. It'll only be a couple of feet wide. Pretty remarkable. Although we had dined well the night before, I sensed that Mulat's, while a strong ambassador of local cuisine, is not necessarily where the locals seek day-to-day sustenance. So after a brief tour of the French Quarter, which being a nighttime sort of place was locked up tight, we wandered over to Magazine Street and into the heart of authenticity. Magazine Street in New Orleans with an actual cook, and you can trust cooks. Cooks will not ever lead you wrong, isn't that right?
That's correct.
Cooks don't lie.
Nope.
Because they don't have to. Saucier, that means he makes, sauce, that's good. How long have you been a saucier?
I've been a saucier there since around October of last year.
Are you classically trained, or did you come up the honest way?
I came up the honest way. I've learned most everything I know there. I've been at the Commander's Palace around 3 years.
Is there anything right here on this street where you go for like crawfish?
For crawfish? Big Fisherman, right up the street.
That place right there?
Yeah, right on the corner.
I see fishermen, seafood. I figured it was just a seafood store. Do they serve in there?
Yes, they do.
All right, onward, Big Fisherman. Thanks, Richard.
Pleasure to meet you.
We've scored here at the Big Fisherman. We have actual live mud bugs here. As far as I know, this is the official state, I guess, arthropod / crustacean bug of Louisiana, known also as mud bugs. This guy doesn't seem too aggressive. They could be bluffing. And you know what? I think the best thing to do right now would be to cook and eat them. Latch onto the camera. Yes, hold on right there. Maybe he'll like this one better. Here, Lamar, have a mud bug. Come on, grip, get a grip, get a grip. There he is. Excellent shot. Oh! He's okay. You're okay. He's just gonna leave a little mark. It's okay. Ow! Cook him now. You gotta go in here. This is what happens to bad little crawfish, right?
Yeah.
Or even the good ones end up in here. How many of these are you cooking at a time in this big thing?
About 150 pounds full time.
That looks like a boil of some type, right?
Yeah.
What do you have going on in there?
I have a red pepper in there, salt, and a boil. They got a lot of sauce in there. And the bay leaf and garlic.
So how long will these take to cook until they're...
You have a common little boil.
Yeah.
After boil, you leave about 30 minutes, it's good.
30 minutes. It gets better and better as the day goes on.
Yeah.
How many crawfish you guys go through in a week? I mean, is this just today, or is this...
Just for
that's
today.
A lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Where do these come in from?
So they're coming from, the guys are fishermen. They bring like that in the sacks, about 40 pounds a sack, like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you'll go through all this today?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of crawfish.
Yeah.
Well, you've got a big bag with water and pennies.
Yeah.
Why?
A lot of people come and ask for the bags of water in there.
What's it for?
Just keep the flies away.
This keeps flies away?
Yeah.
Is that a voodoo thing?
I don't know.
Because I'm scared of voodoo. Having learned a thing or two about house flies and voodoo, we moved to the front of the Big Fisherman, where bins are being filled for the afternoon rush. Crawfish, corn, potatoes, sausage, garlic, and shrimp are all cooked in a special boil devised by this man, Big Fisherman owner Henry Poineau, who's putting together a little snack for his new friends.
Well, actually, little's not the right word.
I fished for a living through middle school and high school.
What do you say, you were earning a living in middle school?
Yes, selling shrimp, crabs.
Were you going to middle school?
Well, that's another story.
Because it's hard
may have seen me on another TV program meeting the president.
You met the president of the United States? Yeah. Doing what?
Learning to read as an adult. Because I was fishing as a child, making money.
So basically not a lot of schooling when you were a kid because you were busy fishing.
Right. So one of the places I was selling my shrimp to needed some help one day, so I went over there and worked at the seafood market. And about a year and a half later, I asked him if I could have a day off because I never was officially hired, but I just stayed there, worked there and shrimped and crabbed, and worked there when I wasn't shrimping and crabbing.
Yeah.
And then from there, I met a friend of mine and we fished together, and we opened up Little Fisherman in 1984 in St. Bernard on Judge Perez and Araby. We opened that, we quit fishing. This is more than a full-time business, 7 days a week. So from there, we sold seafood throughout the city, and we sold this location a couple hundred pounds of shrimp, and the guy...
So what was this, a restaurant or was it a store?
Seafood market.
A seafood market. So you sold him some shrimp?
A couple hundred pounds of shrimp, and the guy wrote me a check, and the check bounced. So I came up here to look for him and the money, and he was gone.
You came up here mad, right?
Well, I tell you what, I was just going to come try and collect my money. Well, he had charged up a bunch of money and sold everything and closed down.
And ran. He skipped town.
Right. So wound up finding a landlord and telling him if he wanted to lease the place to let me know, and he called me up in a couple of weeks and wound up leasing the place. And it was 1989.
Bad check works out.
Worked out very well.
We'll pay cash, just so you know. We won't try to pass any out-of-town checks around here because I don't want you coming looking for me. So let's eat some bugs.
Let's do it.
When next we feast, the big fisherman himself teaches us how to suck heads.
Wow. I'll be honest. I've never done this. So I've eaten crawfish, but never this way. So you want to talk me through it, or?
Yeah, take your fork.
Okay, you do take a fork.
Take the fork and you stick them in the eyes. No, I'm teasing. Like a lobster.
Yeah.
Twist it to the side.
Yeah.
You got it.
Comes right out.
You squeeze it. That's what they cooked right.
Because they were cooked right, he slid that in. Grab the tail, twist, and you kind of run your thumb up under here to kind of help push it out. It's like getting toothpaste out of the tube. Sucking's really a big part of eating crawfish. You got to really put the suction to it.
Legend has it years ago that people ate crawfish, but they didn't want people to know they ate crawfish because they were thought as a nuisance or something dirty. So people that were poor would eat crawfish, but if people would come over, they didn't want them to know they had crawfish, and they would hide them or throw them away. Or you know, I guess the kids would pick on you if they knew you had to eat crawfish.
Johnny eats crawfish, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Now, where does this sausage come from? You want a piece?
Yeah, it's D&D smoked sausage, and we boil it in the seasoning after the crawfish are boiled.
So it's in the same spice as the...
Same spice, and it gives it a real good flavor, as you'll see.
Wow, it sure does.
Since that wasn't enough food, out comes the stuffed artichoke, a peculiar Cajun specialty, apparently.
Kids at home, don't eat off of a knife like this. It's a bad habit. Crawfish pie, huh? Mm-hmm. Wow. There's no fat in that, is there, Henry?
Not at all.
I understand. Thanks for being conscious about my cardiovascular system. I appreciate that.
How's that?
Where'd that recipe come from?
Oh, I can't tell you that.
To you, Henry, it's very good. No, it's very good.
Tell them to do this. Let me show you. Hold on.
Oh, we have...
You twist. I don't want to be on TV.
You don't want to be on TV?
No.
Then you shouldn't stand there. Then you shouldn't stand there.
Push in and twist. That way you get the fat way up in the head.
And then you squeeze and suck?
Thank you.
Suck the head.
Being a fine host, Henry then takes up the camera himself so that the entire crew can join in on the family-style feeding frenzy.
He's right, you do get more of it if you push in.
That's good.
He didn't lie.
I've never heard that before. That really works.
Does he really
Of course, even we can't eat all this food, so we have Henry pack it up and we bid New Orleans adieu.
Although I've pretty much vowed to stay on the river road for this entire journey up the Mississippi, we've diverted our course a bit to the top portion of Lake Pontchartrain in order to answer a very important question. Where do restaurants get their gator? Mystery solved.
The Clyburts have been raising gator since the 1940s and helped develop methods of modern ranching that have actually strengthened alligator populations.
Everything learned about alligator, we pretty well learned.
Keep hands off fence, huh?
We made a few mistakes.
Yeah?
Mr. Clybert attempts to summon a few of his reptilian charges, but they won't budge, so he heads off to fetch some gator chow, leaving me with them.
This is the first time that I've been at a farm looking at food and been worried. Because I can't think of any other food that I would normally eat that would eat me. I want to feed an alligator. Heck, that's like going to Disneyland for an adult. What you got?
Nutra?
No, that's more Nutra. Hello. Now I understand the glove. Would you describe a Nutra as kind of the combination between a beaver and a rat?
It's a big rat that comes from South America.
Well, whatever Nutras are, alligators sure do seem to like them frozen. Slowly but surely, a nice scaly posse gathers, and they're close, very close.
Oh, I want to pet a gator. Oh, come on, Herbie, I want to pet one.
With my supply of frozen Nutra parts dwindling, I attempt to lure one of the giants up onto the ramp, but to no avail. He seems to want me to come to him. You know, this could make a motorcycle accident look relatively fun by comparison. Ooh, reminds me of my collarbone breaking, only worse. Clyburn gives me a lesson, getting away with not just one, but 2 snout rubs. I give it another shot, but get a little snap. Well, that's enough for me. Thanks very much.
But what about alligator? Any?
No, alligator, she's not used the whole alligator back then. She just used the tail. Kill her like a little 4-foot gator like that. And all she did was cut it by that wide strip with the bone in it.
Yeah.
And she used to roll it in cornmeal and fry it. It was good. Good fresh alligator.
As for how folks started eating them, seems Native American tribes from South Carolina to Louisiana have had gator on the menu since prehistory. Southern consumption was later boosted by slaves who had eaten alligators in Africa, quite possibly as a preemptive measure against being consumed themselves. Here's some fun alligator facts. They live a really, really long time. They get really, really big, can run really, really fast over short distances, and have been off the endangered species list since 1987. Conservationists, in fact, credit responsible gator farming with helping to keep the species healthy. Next up, a lesson in alligator catching, which felt a lot like alligator wrestling. Believe me, they are small, but they are extremely strong.
Hey, JC.
It doesn't work with me.
Doesn't work with you? No. That doesn't work for you right there? I'm just gonna lay his head right here. I caught this one by myself. I was petting you and all that. He's like, I don't fall for that.
We've fed them, we've caught them. When we come back, we're gonna eat them. Lake Pontchartrain adjoined the Great River Road, just below Vacherie, Louisiana, where we find Mr. Kleibert's suggested dinner spot, a place where alligators are on and off the menu. Much to my delight, BNC Seafood is both a restaurant and a market.
Just a place after my own heart. Here in the frozen food section, we got just Louisiana crawfish in just a standard zip top bag, and we've got, check this out, alligator meat. It actually does look like chicken, but it doesn't taste like chicken. I don't think this is from the same place that we were today, but it's nice to see frozen alligator meat. We've also got, what do we have? Yeah, okay, we've got the natural catfish fillets. We've got frog legs. Frog legs. All right, JC, come here.
Yeah.
You're French. You're a sophisticated guy.
Yes.
What do you think these are?
What is this?
It's cracklins.
What?
You ever had cracklins?
Crack lens.
Cracklins.
I've got a lens, not crack.
No, lens. It's not crack. Here.
Crack lens. I have no idea.
Have one. Have a cracklin. Deep fried pork skin. What would you call that in France? Le cracklin. Or would it be la cracklin?
Crack lens.
What do you
That's what
think?
it is.
It's porky, huh? I love them, especially when they're hot. Like an alligator chewing up that bone stick.
I think I lost a tooth.
You lost a tooth? We're gonna want about 3 orders of the red beans and rice, 3 orders of the alligator. I'm gonna have to have me some Cajun boudin balls.
Okay, so how many orders of boudin balls would you like?
They come in 2s, I imagine.
No, 5.
Oh, okay. This is Sandra, right?
Yes.
Sandra's the cook here, and she's working on our order as we speak. And you can tell we're in a truly southern restaurant because here we got a big old heaping vat of corn flour, and 6 fryers. 6, count them, and then the griddle and the cooktop. So what are we having? What are you making?
Right now, I'm preparing a red bean and sausage meal, boudin balls, a zydeco salad, and I'm also preparing alligators. Comes with a honey mustard sauce.
That's the alligator. Well, what's this?
This is a potato salad.
Okay, potato salad. Is that traditionally how it's served around here?
Yes.
It's almost like mashed potatoes.
Yeah, it's a potato with mayonnaise and mustard.
Okay.
And we have the garlic bread that goes on each plate.
Garlic bread on every plate?
On every plate.
That's the right thing to do.
Yes.
All right, now what are these?
Those are the boudin balls.
The boudin balls?
Yes.
Which I assume have sausage in them.
It's pork.
Boudin. Pork, okay, so it's pork and rice maybe? Pork and rice.
Yes, it is.
So it's boudin that way.
Yeah.
And there's the salad. We got those
Salad with lettuce and tomatoes.
because we haven't had a vegetable in days.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
well, that's a good
we have-
salad
so-
choice because we're going to put some kidney beans and some green beans on it.
Good.
And olives. So
we need
you
more
need all
vegetables.
your vegetables.
So what about the red beans and rice?
Over the rice.
Yeah, can you tell us what's in that?
It's just red beans, actually. It's
Just red beans cooked down?
Yes.
No giant tubs of lard or...
No, it has a very good smoked flavor in the beans.
Well, now, how do you get that in there?
Well, we put some smoked meat in it.
Oh, so you left that out.
Yes.
You were being cagey with
That's
me.
our little secret there.
There you go. Here.
I like that.
Yeah, don't worry with that little spoon thing. We don't need
Okay.
that. So your gumbo, is it thickened only with okra or use filet as well?
We have a little filet in it, and we have okra and crab meat in it
Now, do you believe in putting in the filet at the very end of the cooking process, or do you put it in early?
at the end.
You put it, so you're using it only as flavor. Your thickening is coming from your
Your
roux
okra
and
and
the
your
okra.
exactly.
Okay. Now, I noticed
Filet, aka gumbo filet or filet powder, is nothing more or less than cured and pounded sassafras leaves. It's used as a seasoning as well as a thickener in soups and stews such as gumbo. More on filet in our next adventure.
Gumbo walking. That's great. And I want some of that red beans and rice, so don't be eating all of that. I'm after the gumbo and the red beans and rice.
Mike, I don't know if I can share it with you.
See? And they were telling us that you can't get any decent iced tea anywhere around New Orleans. This is perfectly sweetened. It's not sickening sweet Georgia style. It's properly brewed. That's good iced tea.
Having ridden hard, wrestled reptiles, and consumed mass quantities, our second day on the road comes to a blissful end. At dawn, we push northward toward an unforeseen date with a 9-foot sausage.
Day 3, Louisiana. still. Matter of fact, we haven't made it very far. We started here and we're right about here at a town called La Place. Of course, the fact that it's taken 3 days is a testament to the fine cuisine available in this state. Why did we stop here? Well, we saw this. We're from Food Network. We're traveling all the way up the Mississippi River, and before I get too far out up the river road, I haven't had any really great andouille yet. I mean, I've had some okay sausage in New Orleans, but
did they give you a sample?
I haven't been in there yet.
Oh, when you go in there, I'm going to tell them. Make sure you'll get a sample. Come on.
Well, come on. Come on in the house. When next we feast, sausage and head cheese and a shameful spectacle. This out. Look over here. You don't get these. You don't get silverware bolted to a board for making bad sausage. No, this is hardcore. Look, he's got the St. John Parish Andouille Festival Cooking Contest, best andouille gumbo. This, of course, commercial first place, whatever that means. That got him a big spoon. And then we've got various other 96, 97, 98. Now, that's cold andouille. Do you like it cold, or do you prefer to warm it up?
I prefer it warm myself, but most of the time people make gumbo with it, and it's hot already anyway. But right out the smokehouse when it's warm, it's great.
Now this is not over seasoned. So much of the commercial andouille I have, it's got too much pepper in it.
Well, you see, that's
it overwhelms the smoke.
Right. You lose one flavor to the other.
Now, I want you to tell me about these awards up here, because I've personally never seen silverware bolted to a board before.
Well, actually, I'm going to have to let my father tell you about this, because I just recently took over the business.
How did you start doing this?
My father was in this business, okay? My father was a butcher and a slaughterman and all that. He got started. My mother and him had their own recipes, so that's what we've done.
I can't help but notice that we've got two andouille places within, I mean, I could throw a rock and hit that other building. I came here first because they said you were a motorcycle guy, so that's why we're here. What am I going to find different 2 doors down?
Well, his one and his recipe is different from mine.
They've got a giant sausage though outside, you know, that big sausage.
Well, you seen my big sausage, man?
Oh, it's a suit.
Right. We use that for the Andouille Festival.
Okay. Brett, can you get in that suit?
Probably.
All right, can he try on the suit?
Yeah.
I make a show on Food Network called Good Eats, and we very often have to dress up people in strange costumes to make a point. And Brett is one of the people that often gets in it, but he usually gets in the rounder outfits. Your butt's hanging out. Okay, let me. Oh, it's broken. So you've got ventilation. This is the kind of scene that you can't get this anywhere else. Yep, that's the way you got to work it, baby. We have got to. What's that? It feels great, and it's great to be alive. And it's good to be sausage. So that's it. We're gonna wave, we're pointing in. You want the Bailey sausage? That's it, do the dance. There it is. It's the sausage dance. Andouille sausage, homemade. You're losing your traditions, people. You need to care about this stuff. Homemade. There are so many times in my life that I complain about my job and that it's too hard, and then I see something like this taking place for no other reason but that I have the power to make somebody put on a suit. I revel in delight in my power. That's it. How do you feel in there? Are you okay?
Excellent.
Yeah, baby! Come get your sausage! You gotta know that the folks that own that sausage place down there are hating life right now because they didn't know that this place was gonna have a professional mascot come perform here today. He's had his aerobic workout for today, so we'll take him back now. Andouille, by the way, is a chunky, spicy, and relatively smoky Cajun sausage. It's often used as a flavoring in classics like jambalaya and gumbo. Tasso, a highly seasoned hunk of lean pork or beef that is also smoked until it's dry and relatively hard. And then there's head cheese. As for that, well, you'll just have to keep watching. Here's my question for you. This doesn't look anything like any cheese I've ever encountered in my life. Why is it called cheese?
Well, because they used to make it out of the hog head, and it used to gel, and that's why they call it the hog head cheese.
Oh, that explains it, because I always think hog head when I think about cheese. So it's basically just boiled and chopped up hunks of head meat.
No, we don't use head meat anymore. You can't buy hog head anymore.
Oh, that's right, because of
Food and Drug Administration.
Food and Drug Administration.
anyhow,
Although
well-
we did eat pig brain in Indiana, so you can still get pig brain.
Yeah, you can get pig brain.
But you can't cook a pig head anymore.
No, we can't.
What has gone wrong with this country? It's sad, I know. So what do you do?
Well, what we do, we take lean pork meat,
Okay.
we boil it, we boil some skin,
Uh-huh.
we put some seasoning in it, and we put it together, and we cook it for about 3 or 4 hours, and then we let it set up overnight where it'll gel into a container. And that's what it turns out to be.
Is the gel that's in there from the meat?
No, from the skin.
From the skin,
The
of course,
skin makes
because
the
skin
gel.
contains a lot of collagen. Collagen in the presence of water and heat becomes gelatin. So that's how the connective tissue works.
In those days, it was right after the Depression, and the people didn't have any money, so they'd use the head and everything. They used everything. They didn't lose anything, not even the pig feet, the pig tail, nothing.
Oh, we know all about pig feet. We know all about pig. So here is Mike's first head cheese. Take it from the big end, because that's the kind of guy you are. And I'm gonna I'll serve up everybody some head cheese here.
As we enjoy the Bailey's hospitality, I finally feel we've gotten the entire Cajun treatment. We've had the gumbo, the gator, the crawfish, and of course, we've had the andouille. I know that this memory will be etched in my mind forever, whether I like it or not. And so we ride on, New Orleans to our stern, and Baton Rouge coming into range.